26-19. It got really ugly at the end. The Dolphins are still 11-5 and very much on the hunt with a massive game next week that we'll get to. But let's hear from Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh. Here's Lamar on the Ravens' mindset as the #1 seed. Are they underappreciated and underrespected? What?
We've been an underdog all season, even all season. You know, we like to keep it that way and just keep that on our mindset. We don't fall into the narratives of things changing. You know, just last week we were about to get tore up, you know, however they said it. But our team, you know, we take that to heart and we go out there and play football. And that's what we know that's what we're supposed to do. You know, we can't go out there thinking since we're the favorites, team's just going to buy down and just play how we want them to play. You got to go take it, and that's what we do.
To step up and play the way they had and put an exclamation point on it, triple exclamation points on it with a performance like this, pretty much a well-rounded, perfect performance like that after the opening bell, even that, to bounce back from the beginning of the game the way they did, it says about who they are, and I just have so much respect for them.
We love Harbs. Did he headbutt somebody after the game? It looks like he has a huge abrasion on his forehead.
Have you seen the locker room video?
I have.
Getting jiggy with it is the
I think a lion spike to the head, didn't
yeah, exactly right. Ravens, what a story. They're the #1 seed. They've already clinched home field advantage throughout the AFC, and they get not only a Week 18 game where they don't have to play anybody, they also get the bye. Good for the Ravens. Dolphins, things get a little bit trickier. They go to the 2 seed, but a loss to Buffalo cost them the division and any home field games on Sunday. A wild one in the AFC. The NFC is even more interesting if you go through what happened on Saturday night, which we will, I assure you we will detail. We're not avoiding Saturday night's game. The Niners, with the Philly loss, they go to 1 and already clinched things up. They're good. And then you look at Philly, they're on the outside as a wild card. They're going to be traveling to Tampa right now because Dallas, yes, they won that game, and Detroit is the 3 seed. But we see the Packers at the bottom there. They're now in, and the Seahawks are out because they lost to the Steelers at home.
Well, celebration, regardless of how intense it was, the Ravens had a blowout win. It was like convincing from any moment you turn that game on, you're like, wait a second, what's happening here in Baltimore? Jason, Lamar looked great.
He did, and for me, I was in Chicago. I was doing that game. The whole time you're checking the score. I get on the plane. I turn on NFL Plus, and I'm watching the condensed version as a gentleman next to me is coughing and doing all types of things on the airplane. Not a fun experience, but lovely. To your point, lovely. A great way to spend your New Year's Eve on a plane. That's the exact sound.
Cough.
Are you
terrible. But I turn this game on, and Lamar, you think about we went into the week, you're talking about all the MVP talk about Lamar Jackson. Everybody's saying, but you look at the numbers, they're not even as good as where they were when he won the MVP back in 2019. And Lamar said, they're not that good. All right, well, watch what I do today. Threw for 5 touchdowns, just wheeling and dealing all over the field and convince everybody with his performance that, yes, I am the MVP, what I'm able to do with this Baltimore Ravens team. And it was everybody on the offense. Kyle just said it. Pat Ricard scoring a touchdown where he's grabbing the ball with one hand. Likely, so many different people.
Melvin Gordon got
Melvin Gordon.
And he looked good doing it.
Making moves in the whole 9 late in that game. And it was unbelievable. Just the way they beat down on him, because you went into this game and you're like, this is it. Miami, they were able to beat Dallas. They beat a winning football team, this, that, and the third, and the Ravens like, hold on, no. We are the team. And Jamie, you said it last week. The Ravens are the measuring stick right now in the NFL as the best team going. And they win that football game, and they're celebrating, hats, T-shirts, the whole 9. And all I could think of was measuring stick. And for John Harbaugh, he just set the measuring stick for what a head coach is supposed to look like in the locker room. So the next time we see one of these head coaches dancing and celebrate, if your knees don't work like John Harbaugh and you can't get that low and move the arms around with whatever dance move you want to call it, Harbs has been doing it for a long time. And when you see that type of passion, emotion, and energy in the locker room, look at that right there. Boy, he's getting low with those knees, and he makes it back up. So shout out to John Harbaugh. For sure, what you say, getting jiggy with it in the locker room?
I don't think he has that abrasion in that video, so I think something happened.
I think it's a war wound. It's the red badge of courage. I like it, Harbs.
I think the elbows got him.
Bam!
Dropping bows. No, like hyperbole is enough for what they just did, like to two of the best teams in football.
Yeah.
They went into San Francisco and kicked the snot out of them, and then the Dolphins come in with more days to rest, more days to prepare, and a whole game plan, and the Ravens just blew them out. You think about this, they were on the bye, the Ravens. They came off the bye. They beat the Rams 37-31 in that amazing, overtime win. They blew out the Jaguars in Jacksonville. They blew out the 49ers, and then they blew out the Dolphins. That's pretty good. They've been on the playoffs. And your reward now is Lamar doesn't have to play next week. Lamar doesn't have to play the following week. And you can just sit back, smoke a cigar, and watch the rest of the league beat each other up and have these collision courses while you guys sit and get healthy. I love what this team did yesterday because, like Jason was saying, it felt like an avalanche. And I go back to like the early 90s Bills in the playoffs, and it would be like they'd play the Raiders or the Dolphins, and it would be close in the first quarter, and then it would just be out of control. Jim Kelly, hitting Andre Reed, hitting Thurman Thomas, and then all of a sudden it's 60 points on the board, and you're like, wait, what? Who? This is what it felt like. So many unsung guys on this team have stepped up in the last few weeks. You're talking about Likely. Bateman's been really good, right? You watch these games. Justice Hill has been awesome. Melvin Gordon's making plays here. I really like this Ravens team. They're really deep. And real quick, a note from Sarah Ellison, who does a wonderful job covering the Ravens on her site. No team has ever led the league in points allowed, takeaways, and sacks in the same season. Okay, no team ever, not even the 2000 Ravens. Sarah points out that Baltimore leads in all three categories right now. So we're talking about an amazing offense that's really deep, and then maybe the most historic defense since the 2000 Ravens in that franchise. So when you're talking about great offense, great defense, and oh, by the way, the best kicker of all time. Feel pretty good about our shot going into January. Now they get a week off and watch the rest of the league bang up against each other.
It's pretty fun. That's the best team in the league playing their best game. And I would challenge you to, what is the Ravens' best game this year? Because was it this one? Was it the Niners game? Was it when they beat the crap out of a pretty tough Seahawks team? Was it when they destroyed a really good Lions team? You could just take your pick. You went early 90s Bills. I'm going late 90s Bulls.
Okay.
There was a game in the Bulls-Jazz finals. It was 1998 finals. The Chicago Bulls won 96-54. They won by 42 points over Malone and Stockton and everybody. Every single player on the Bulls scored a basket. Bill Wennington was the last one. He hit a baseline jumper, and it's like, it's complete. Bill Wennington scored. That's what it felt like watching the Ravens yesterday. Ricard scored. Melvin Gordon scored. It's like empty the bench and get them to score.
Get in
there. Ronnie Brown wants to score. Judd Bushler scored. Bobby Hansen scored. Dennis Hopson scored. They all scored. And that was the best basketball team at the time. The Ravens have a feel of a basketball team. It's all dunks and threes and runs and reverses. They have a long rest to chill, to think, to do whatever, to party, to put some ointment on whatever's on John's head from headbutting somebody. It was just a full flex. Spread their wings. We are the best team. Harbaugh said it afterwards. He's like, we basically played perfect. Like every coach is like, oh, we got some things to shore up. No, we don't have to clean squat. I think we played our perfect game and we're the best team. There's some demons that are lurking for the playoff performances and Lamar in the playoffs and how he's played. That's a few weeks from now. Best team in the league playing their best game against a very good Dolphins team that now has a massive week, and we'll talk about the Dolphins later.
Well, by the numbers, Lamar played perfect because he had the perfect passer rating for just the third time in his career. The only quarterback that's done it 4 times is Ben Roethlisberger. So he has time still to attain that fourth one. A player, I'm going to have you guess, a player on the Ravens who said, I felt like I was at the movie theater. I just didn't have any popcorn watching Lamar Jackson's performance was. If you had to take a guess, who would have said something? No, Roquan Smith, our smiley friend of the show, Roquan Smith. You know who else I enjoyed watching all season long? It's been the silent assassin, fast twitch rookie wide receiver, Zay Flowers. He has been so unbelievable. And now he has the most receiving yards for the Ravens in organization history. He passed Torrey Smith. Now he's got 842, and he's still got a game to go. Granted, I know he did it in 17 weeks, but it has been so fun and electric to watch Zay Flowers. Jay, I know you picked him as your offensive rookie of the year. When I saw him in London, I told him, like, Jason McCourty picked you, and he's smiling. I got his back. He is so into it. You can tell his personality is contagious in that locker room for the Baltimore Ravens. Ian Rappaport, good morning.
Rồi, tiếp theo sẽ là cái hình trái tim màu xanh dương nhé. Được. Và cuối cùng sẽ là hình trái tim màu cam. Nếu các bạn thấy hơi ít thì các bạn có thể cắt thêm một số cái hình trái tim nữa cũng được. Ví dụ như là mình đã muốn cắt thêm cái hình trái tim màu hồng đi, mình thích màu hồng nên là mình sẽ cắt thêm một cái hình trái tim màu hồng nữa nhé. Gập cái tờ giấy màu hồng này vào, và sau đó thì mình sẽ đặt hình trái tim màu vàng này lên và mình sẽ tiếp tục cắt cái hình trái tim màu vàng này, cắt cái hình trái tim màu hồng cho cái hình trái tim màu vàng này. Các bạn có thể cắt nhiều hình trái tim cũng được nhé, như mình có nói rồi đúng không, nó cũng sẽ không ảnh hưởng gì đến cái phần tấm thiệp của mình đâu. Cắt thêm màu xanh lá cây đi. Rồi, và mình sẽ cắt tiếp một cái hình trái tim cuối cùng màu xanh dương nữa nhé. Như vậy là mình đã có khá nhiều hình trái tim rồi. Rồi, mình sẽ cắt nó ra này. Ok, sau khi mà đã có đủ những cái hình trái tim này rồi thì bây giờ mình sẽ đi dán những cái hình trái tim này lại với nhau nhé. Đây như các bạn, đầu tiên là mình sẽ sử dụng màu xanh đi, mình sẽ dán keo lên cái phần trên này, sau đó mình sẽ dán màu hồng này, dán màu hồng vào đây. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ có màu xanh lá cây nhé. Cái phần nào mà có hai màu thì mình sẽ dán trước nha các bạn. Các bạn sẽ dán lên bên trên thôi, các bạn sẽ lưu ý mình sẽ dán lên bên trên của cái phần hình trái tim này thôi nhé. Mình sẽ không dán cả một cái phần ở bên dưới nữa đâu, mình sẽ chỉ dán cái phần trên thôi. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ có màu cam đi, màu cam này. Rồi, tại sao mình lại hướng dẫn các bạn là mình sẽ không dán cả phần bên dưới, bởi vì lát nữa khi mà mình dán cái hình trái tim này lên bên trên cái tấm hình trái tim to này thì các bạn sẽ có tạo ra một cái độ vòng của cái hình trái tim, thì mình sẽ chỉ cần dán ở cái phần bên trên thôi, cái phần bên dưới thì để nó tạo ra cái độ vòng nhé. Rồi, tiếp theo đến cái phần màu vàng nhạt này. Rồi, tiếp tục sẽ là màu xanh dương nhé các bạn. Mình sẽ lại quay lại một cái vòng này. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ có màu xanh lá cây đi. Rồi, và cuối cùng thì mình sẽ để màu hồng nhé. Rồi, mình sẽ có một cái hình trái tim như này. Bây giờ thì mình sẽ bỏ hết những cái phần keo nó đang dính làm nhằng đi đã nhé các bạn. Mình sẽ bỏ hết đi để mình sẽ bước cuối cùng là mình sẽ đi dán cái hình trái tim này lên bên trên cái tấm thiệp của mình. Cái phần nào mà các bạn không thể bỏ được bằng tay thì các bạn sẽ sử dụng kéo để các bạn cắt nó đi để cho cái hình trái tim của mình nó được đẹp hơn nhé. Rồi, sau đó thì mình sẽ dán cái hình trái tim này nhé các bạn. Mình sẽ dán cái hình trái tim này, dán lên bên trên của cái phần hình trái tim to này. Nhưng mà khi các bạn dán nhé thì các bạn sẽ lưu ý là mình sẽ dán hai cái phần hình trái tim này ở bên ngoài nhé, các bạn sẽ không dán hẳn vào bên trong như này đâu. Các bạn sẽ để nó ra bên ngoài như này cho mình, khi mình gập vào này và khi mình mở ra thì mình vẫn sẽ nhìn thấy những cái hình trái tim như này nhé. Bây giờ thì mình sẽ dán keo vào nhé. Đầu tiên là mình sẽ dán cái mặt bên màu xanh dương này. Rồi mình sẽ nhanh tay dán vào không keo nó khô mất. Để các bạn sẽ nhìn cái cách dán của mình là mình sẽ không dán vào giữa của cái tấm thiệp này đâu, mình sẽ dán lùi ra ngoài nhé. Tiếp theo là cái mặt màu hồng này, các bạn cũng dán tương tự như vậy. Đây, cái mặt màu hồng thì các bạn cũng dán sang đây. Chứ mình sẽ không dán hẳn ở giữa của cái tấm thiệp như này. Và các bạn đóng vào này. Đây sẽ có cái phần hình trái tim nó được thu lại như này đúng không? Các bạn mở ra thì các bạn cũng sẽ thấy là những cái hình trái tim nhiều màu sắc của mình như thế này rồi. Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.